Welcome to Backyard Poker. I'm Ryan, and here we have another quick shot with my father, David. And my dad says he has a few poker stories he thought about since our last interview. You can see the first interview on the Backyard Poker channel. I'll leave the link in the description below. So let's get right into it, Dad. Go ahead and spin a yarn on some great poker stories.
Okay, I have two stories to tell you. One has to deal with incredible odds being overcome, and the other one is a bizarre poker game. In fact, this poker game was so bizarre, had I not been part of it and someone else told me about it, I wouldn't have believed him. But the first one about odds, my wife and I were playing video poker at a nearby casino, and we were playing a bank of machines, and we play together. We play alternate hands, which saves on the betting. And there was no one else in the bank of machines that we were playing except one other guy. And we weren't paying any attention to him, and he wasn't paying any attention to us. Well, one of the hands that we were dealt were 4 cards to a royal flush, which was a pretty good start. And I believe the odds of getting the 5th card, once you have 4 actual cards of a royal flush, are like 1 in 25, 26, 27, something like that. You got about a 4% chance of winning. Not great, but better than not having any cards. Anyways, we got the 5th card for a royal flush. And we were celebrating a little bit, and we caught the attention of the guy who was playing down from us, and it was in hearts. And we started talking to him, and come to find out, he had gotten a royal flush in hearts too. And I thought that was pretty unusual. So I told him about how we got ours. We had 4 and drew 1, and I asked him how many cards he drew, and he said, I drew 4. And I said, 4? What did you keep? He said, the Jack of Hearts. I said, why did you just keep the Jack of Hearts? He said, well, it was the only card I had that was above a 10 that I could use, that I could pair and win. So I kept the Jack of Hearts, and he drew 4 other hearts, 10 and above, for a royal flush. And I'm going, what are the odds? It's 2 people sitting in the same bank of machines drawing a royal flush in hearts the same day.
How much time was between those royal flushes?
I'm not sure exactly when he got his. Not much time, I don't think.
Just to let everybody know, what's the payout for a royal flush?
Well, depending on what you're playing for, usually if you're playing for the maximum amount, it's let's say you're playing for a quarter and you play the maximum amount, which is $1.25.
Mm-hmm.
A royal flush will pay you 4,000 quarters or $1,000.
Wow.
I'm not sure what denomination we were playing, but it was a good payoff. I think it was well worth spending our time doing it.
Yeah, I've witnessed too many royal flushes from you guys and not enough from me on our casino adventures.
Well, you have plenty of time to catch up.
That's great. That's a wonderful story. Okay, so what's the other one? I'm really excited to hear about this bizarre poker night that you had.
Yes, this actually started with a retirement party that I was charged with putting on for 2 guys that I worked with. So knowing who these guys were and who was likely to attend, I brought a couple of decks of cards and I think chips and coins, just in case, we were not allowed to use coins because it can be a legal problem depending on where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, after the ceremonies were over, I didn't find it very difficult to find 7 guys who wanted to sit down and play some cards. So we found a table, and there were 7 of us playing, and I think I started the first game, and it was stud poker. In fact, most of the games like that, there weren't anything other than just stud poker games, 5-card or 7-card, and this was 7-card. Anyways, I dealt the first hand, and a guy that I worked with, I knew well, and I played golf with him. He won the first hand. So, we passed the deal to the left, and the next guy played the same game, and the same guy won 2 in a row. So we passed the deal again, and the third guy played, I think, 7-card stud, and the same guy won again. So people were starting to make comments about how lucky he was, So again, the next guy dealt, and this guy won again. So he'd won 4 games in a row. I had never seen anybody start a game by winning 4 hands in a row. So now it wasn't entertaining anymore to some people. So the 5th guy dealt, and wouldn't you know it, this guy won again.
Unbelievable.
Then there was some grumbling going on about exactly how this guy had managed to win 5 hands in a row. And I know he wasn't cheating, because he didn't know poker that well enough to cheat. Anyways, we got to the 6th hand, and he won it again. And I mean, now everybody was getting upset about it, because he was ruining the game. No one else was making any money except for him. So the last guy who hadn't dealt, and unbelievably, this guy won again. He had won every game once around the table. After the 7th hand, everybody at the table except for this guy got up and quit. And here I thought I was sitting down to a long night of enjoyable poker, and it lasted less than an hour, and the game broke up. And I just sat there stunned that this guy could pull something off like that. I mean, I've never seen anyone win 7 games in a row, let alone the start of the game. And to this day, I think back on that, and I go, did this really happen? I know it did, because I was sitting there. I dealt the first hand, and it was bizarre.
Wow. Now, I assume there was no hard feelings after things cooled down a little bit.
Yeah, they just had no interest in playing any longer. I can hardly blame them. I don't know how much abuse you can take before you just finally say that's enough. But I found out 7 hands is enough. If one guy wins 7 hands, you can count on your game breaking up.
Yeah. That's lady luck going in too much in one direction.
That was the strangest poker game I've ever seen.
That's incredible. You're right. I would have to witness this to really believe it. That's just, that's unheard of.
Yeah, it was.
Unbelievable. Well, that's great. Well, thanks for both of those wonderful stories. That's definitely one for the ages, and I'm glad I was actually able to capture this on the Backyard Poker channel. Well, thanks for taking the time to tell us these wonderful stories, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Okay, I may think of a few more before it's all over.
That's great. Thanks for joining, and everybody have a great day. Bye-bye. Wow, I never heard that one before.